Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Adrian. This week we will talk about turn-taking patterns and question types as our second module of our edX course. So first, what is MOOC and edX, which are my references for this video and topic. First, what is MOOC? MOOC is a massive open online course platform that you can find any type of course inside, and edX is one of those platforms. In general, edX is a massive open online course website, like we said, MOOC, that partners with companies and universities to provide classes, degrees, and professional certificates. It was founded by Harvard University and Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 2012. edX classes use a variety of teaching methods and materials to teach us some specific topics, like our topic is turn-taking patterns and question types and interaction during classes. So yes, let's look at our content for this video in our next slide. Our context is, first we will talk about teacher-centered classroom, then we will also see types of questions in IRE, then we will also talk about improving IRE with feedback. We will talk about cultural variations in turn-taking, procedural display, non-traditional classroom innovations, and then we will have a quick summary for all this video. So, last week we have talked about how interaction is important during classes, and we briefly see turn-taking patterns. So in this video we will talk about turn-taking patterns with more detailed way. So let's start. Like we said, our first topic is teacher-centered classroom. In modern times, teachers are more tend to do and talk about their classes in more student-centered way, like our teachers do to us. But the old way is teacher-centered classrooms, like it's the traditional way. In this teacher-centered classrooms, the teacher lectures and asks questions, and students respond, and they are evaluated at the end of their response. Like we all know, this is the basic, like the classic and traditional type of lecturing. In teacher-centered classrooms, students mostly experience initiation, response, and evaluation, like we say IRE sequences. Like initiation means teacher asks a question, and response means student answers, and evaluation means, like we said, teacher evaluates the answer after the response. So, like we said, this is a traditional way. But yes, nowadays, with technology, teachers are more likely to do their classes with student-centered way, but this is the old way. So, what are types of questions in IRE? There are two types. The first one is non-answer questions, and the second one is open-ended questions. Let's talk about these. What is non-answer questions? In this non-answer questions, there are one correct answer, like typical in IRE, like what's the capital of Pennsylvania, for example. There has a one specific answer, but in open-ended questions, no predetermined answer, like more conversational, like how do you like living in Pennsylvania? Like this question can have a lot of answers because, like we said, this is the open-ended question. And yes, but this is if we give an example, non-answer question types is more used in teacher-centered classrooms, but while open-ended questions are more likely to be used in student-centered classrooms, like because in student-centered classrooms, teacher wants students to think about it, they want students to critical thinking. They want to improve their critical thinking. So when they ask questions when they ask questions in open-ended way, student can think in a lot of ways, in a lot of perspectives. But in non-answer question, like we said, there's no need to think, because if you know the answer, you know the answer. Because like we said, there's a one specific answer in this type of question. So, but if I want to add more students, okay. So, yes, let's talk about the other topic, which means improving IRE with feedback. Gordon Wells suggested these IRF, which means initiation, response, and feedback. Uh, it replaced evaluation with generative feedback. It encourages deeper thinking, reflection, and conversation. For example, um, after student answer the question, the teacher evaluates it like, that's correct, but how did you get the answer? Like, we are improving with feedback. Or with more examples, your pictures help me enjoy your story, but how did you include that element? Like, we are giving more useful, more effective feedbacks. This has some benefits, of course, which means sustains participation. It also incorporates students' ideas into the discussion. Like you said, it lets students to have discussions. We are letting them improve their critical thinkings, and as our last benefit, it models real conversational turn taking. So yes, this is our second topic, and let's talk about cultural variations in turn taking. IRE sequences assume familiarity with skill-based norms. Students from different cultural backgrounds may need more wait time to answer, interpret questions, or praise differently. Like as we talked about in our previous week, we said that in a classroom there can be a lot of type of student. Like they can maybe intercultural, they can be from another country, and maybe they have some different type of personalities, and maybe they have some maybe there are maybe they have autism, maybe they have dyslexic, like etc. There can be a lot of types students in a classroom, so a teacher should be careful about it. A teacher should take considerate every student needs. So in this page we have some examples like Atabaşkan speakers' natural pose conflict with English classroom norms, and Samoan culture emphasizes group accomplishment rather than individual praise, conflicting with IRE evaluations. Like we said, teachers need awareness of these differences to ensure equitable participation. Like in a classroom, all students are equal, and teacher must be careful about it. A teacher should behave them as they are equal, because they are. So yes, let's talk about the other topic, which means procedural display. Procedural display, which means performing classroom participation without real learning. It is coined by Shirley Bryce Seith, elaborated by David Bloom. IRE sequences can support procedural display, like students respond correctly by cues or patterns recognition, not understanding. And teachers may simulate discussion for appearances. For example, high school geography discussions happens like students and teacher act out answers without engaging deeply, or second grade reading, students each echo intonation cues rather than reasoning. And as a takeaway, we can say that predictable patterns can mask superficial participation. Awareness can help engage students. Actually, it means the same, like awareness is the key point during interaction in class, so it's basically that teachers should be careful about it. And as our last and one of our last topics, we have non-traditional innovations. Like in non-traditional approaches allow students to ask more authentic and unpredictable questions. In this non-traditional innovation, teacher give students the more wait time for reflection. They have a lot of time to think about it. Like we said, improving critical thinking is very important in this point, and as last incorporation of students' experiences and knowledge. It's basically in non-traditional innovations. Actually, we can also say that student-centered classroom. Students have more time to think about, more time to make critical thinking, more time to have discussion with their friends, because like we said, at the end of this, it's all comes back to the point where the key point is improving students' critical thinking. Like that's all for their thinking. So yes. And let's talk about all these things as a summary. Like we said, this is a continuation of our first week course, so it's basically the same, but we have seen the question type more deeply way. So classroom interaction is culturally shaped. Predictable patterns help some but exclude others. And basically, IRE sequences can be useful for evaluation, transformed into IRF to promote learning, and misused in procedural display, making lack of understanding. So, as a teachers to be, we should be careful about our students' behaviors. We should take considerate all of our students. We should take care of their needs, take care of what they have problem with, and we should act like this. So this was basically what our topic was for this week, and in here you can see my references again. We talked about ADX and I prepared my presentation through Canva, and that was all. Thank you for listening to me. See you next week.